Hey everyone, River Price speaking here. What, it's been a year already? Wow, time flies fast, isn't it? Today we're celebrating 2 years of this channel. A lot of huge events have happened. 4 new parts have been released, I've tried out the video formats, we've celebrated 5th anniversary of MO4, and hey, the new update is coming around soon. But most importantly, we've grown twice as much compared to the last year. Let's keep the multiplier and perhaps increase it a little more in the future. Before we begin the Q&A part, I wanted to thank everyone who helped me once again during this time. My beloved team of voice actors that has changed a lot but still keeps a smile on viewers' faces. Other MO4 celebrities that helped me in one way or another. And of course, all of the Discord server members that made me company and made the place very, very nice.
Oh, what about me?
Shut up!
Any inspirations from others for this channel?
Not for the channel, but there was one YouTuber that I considered to be god in this game, and their videos inspired me to play the game past the main story. So if it wasn't for him, maybe I didn't like the game that much.
How are you feeling now?
I'm great as hell, as usual. Thank you for asking. Summer vacation is going great.
What is the process of making one of your videos?
It depends on the video, but it usually goes like this. Research, writing script, recording, editing, and uploading.
How long does it take you to voice all your lines?
Around 3 to 5 hours, depending on the amount of lines and how much will I do in one sitting.
Whose voice is the hardest to do?
For me, it's Takahashi and Seiken. Making a deep voice is challenging, because at the end the result will always be different.
What was the most difficult line you've had to voice so far?
I can't remember the exact one. Most of the lines are 1-2 takes, but sometimes it can be several tries, either because the words are hard or my stupid ass lost from the fact that Hatsukin says balls.
Do you ever plan to make the dub in any other language you know?
I honestly don't know. I had an idea to add multiple audio tracks like in Mr. Beast videos, but I don't know how to do it. It's subject to think about in the future. For now, I'll stick to the English version.
Which part was the hardest to make?
100% part 7. The amount of material, voices, last second changes, and so much more. That was the mission that we have completed, and perhaps the part that I'm most proud of.
What do you plan to do after you finish the dub episodes?
That's not happening in the next year or two, so I'm not really seeing my channel in that time. All in all, I'm planning to experiment with content I make, but remain with the theme of MO4.
Who's your favorite character in MO4?
That will be Seiken and Geraldi, because from my perspective they are the most well-scribed characters.
Who's your favorite Numa to play as in MO4?
It's Seiken. Again, there is no real reason to not take Seiken with you in a team, because he can basically do everything thanks to his OP skills.
What other games do you play?
It's easier for me to show them, so here we go. Actually, I recently played Katana Zero, which was gifted to me by one of my friends. That was one of the best games I've ever played in a while.
How does the translation process go? Do you use an engine, or ask someone who speaks Japanese?
The translation process itself? I usually just open RPG Maker, take out the line, run them through Google Translator, then give it to my proofreader and then post it to the voice actors. And yes, all of the people that say Google Translator is bad just don't know how to use it right.
What made you start this channel?
Fun story, I've tried making YouTube content 3 times before, but was like 10 at a time and didn't understand a thing. This channel was started because of a simple fact that there was absolutely fucking nothing in terms of MO4 content on YouTube. If there was one who would enlighten people about how great this game is, so then let that person be me.
How did you come up with the idea of dubbing American Online 4?
Randomly, completely. I was just sitting in school another day and thinking, man, my 2 parts did very well. I wish I could add something in part 3. Wait a second, voice acting, that's right. I made an announcement for fun thinking that like 5 people at most would be interested, but all the roles were taken in a matter of 2 weeks. And so we made history.
Do you intend to make such videos talking about other Stickman works?
No, this channel is intended to be purely MO4 content, sometimes my own.
Have you ever cried at the end of American Online 4?
Hell yeah, I did. Specifically, the moment where Seiken is standing in the darkness and every character is talking to him about how important it is to take care about yourself and that they are always together with him. Which is also why I absolutely hate that fucking piece of shit meme that took the saddest moment in the entire game and turned it into a garbage joke that's worse than Fish Kirimi and Drowned Geraldi. Anyways, moving on!
If you did a review about American Online 4, what would you say? What are the positive and negative points of the game?
Funny you mention it, I wanted to make a video like why ML4 is worth your time, and if this video gets 1000 likes I'll do it! But I will summarize it for you. The pluses are good and nicely done storytelling, amazing quality of graphics, banger music and beloved gameplay. But the minuses are not English friendly game at all. Only if you're Japanese or if you have 8 hours a day sitting next to the translator.
What rating would you give to American Online 4?
80,000 Sigma Frogs cards out of 4 versions. What did you expect to hear?
I don't know if it's a question, more of a suggestion, but would you talk about Blight 2 and 3?
Pass. Like I've said, I only will be making MO4 content here and my own.
How do you begin the Sage Wand quest?
Actually, here's a cool tutorial that Theo made.
How's your cat doing?
Oh, Smokey's doing great. Here's a picture of her.
How did you find out about MO4?
My past friend once was sending me old arts about MO4. When it was my birthday, she told me if I would be interested in watching the gameplay walkthrough together with her. Later in June, I would play the game myself, and thus the history began.
Which are your top 3 playable Numas and top 5 favorite moveset in MO4?
Oh, that one is pretty easy. The top 3 are Seikin, Uye, and Kortora. And if you mean skills by movesets, here are all 5 of them that I either use most often or think they look extremely cool.
What made you start the dub?
You mean the English translation series as a whole? Because first 2 series weren't dubbed. Before I started making YouTube content, I knew that like 5 teams of people were working on the translation for years, with most of them ending up abandoning the project because of drama or whatever. And at the same time, sad truth, but most of the people in the fandom don't care about the game. All they want is just characters and lore. So, as much as I believe in success with 2 of the teams that are working on the translation, why don't I have the slice of the pie in the meantime? And so I've made a first part which holy shit has almost 20,000 views as I'm writing the script for the video. I never thought it would be such a success, and I'm very happy that people nowadays come to this fandom and use my videos as the introduction to this wonderful game. Perhaps inspiration for themselves. And it's now become my duty to continue what I'm doing so that more people will know about this wonderful game and so I could inspire more people to create for the community like I do.
What is your least favorite character?
Oh, I'm pretty sure you already know the answer. In fact, I can say with certainty that if I say the name of that character, this video will turn into a 1-hour discussion just about how bad this character is.
What inspired you to create the channel?
I guess a simple kid's wish to be recognizable and famous, which merges with the wish of being a YouTuber, and all of that topped with a wish of creating more content about the game that I absolutely love and adore.
Are there any other games besides American Online 4 that you enjoy playing?
I've said it already, but the one game I spend most of my time on is Bottle Cats.
What's your mother's maiden name, and the name of your first pet?
Ah, I see you're a comedian here. Haha, guys, look, we got a comedian in here with very funny jokes. It's this. By the way, he's still alive.
Do you plan to continue doing videos explaining game items, mechanics, etc.?
I would absolutely love to make these kinds of videos in the future. But for now, I don't think I want to do it, because version 5 is going to change almost everything and the videos will be irrelevant. So for now, I'll stick to the game's translation, but I promise there will be an update log in the newest version.
How long does it take you to make an English translation MO4 video?
Anywhere from 1 to 3 months. Time vary mostly depending on how VAs or I are busy, or have issues like exploding computers and getting sick.
How was your feeling when you play or watch MO4 for the first time? Was that a confused or enjoy one?
I got very lucky to understand everything during my first playthrough and it was pure joy and nothing else. I hope people watching my videos are feeling the same way as I did.
Is there any character you wish to be playable in MO4?
Not that I can think of. I guess Gabakin would be pretty cool since he is kinda there doing nothing. But I would like to see him more as a boss. Or as an event ally like Venkinaku during Mikami's quest. And now the final questions for the video.
What do you find to be the most challenging part of making the translation?
Waiting. There is nothing worse than the fact that all that separates you from publishing the video is one VA that can't do their lines for one reason or another. It's understandable but really frustrating.
What has been your favorite part of the translation so far?
I think it's the last 3, since most of the effort and cool additions were input there.
Any interesting stories to share about your experience working on the MO4 English translation?
Not really. It's same and linear most of the time. I've had more interesting stories related to my experience being in the community, and I'm very happy with what I have at the very end. For these 2 years, it became clear to me that my channel is like a small campfire for those who are willing to warm themselves up after a long search for the information about this wonderful game. And for those who decide to stay, my Discord server became a warm cabin for MO4 fans and not only. I've seen people get introduced to the game from my videos, and that's the thing I wanted from the start. Thank you everyone for being with me for such a long time. And if I had any advice to give, never be afraid to create content by yourself. If you're passionate about it, don't hold anything back. Create and inspire others to do so. This was an amazing video to make. Thank you everyone for watching, and thanks to the voice acting crew that voiced the questions for the video. For now, I shall celebrate this moment, and for you, I'll see you one day or another.
Ha ha ha!